Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. It's Thursday again and it's 12 p.m. UK time. That means it's time for my session. So this week I am all about working smarter. And I'm going to share with you some of the habits of highly productive people. So, have you ever wondered how some entrepreneurs do it? How they turn up each and every day to work with high energy, enthusiasm, and the drive to succeed? They make it seem easy, don't they? Like it's normal, however you want to define normal in this moment in time. So, well, the good news is it can be. It's actually not that really difficult if you know and adopt some of the habits that these highly productive people have mastered during their time. And because they're habits and our brain is malleable and we are human beings can learn different skills, so can you. So imagine waking up with the same level of energy, the same level of enthusiasm, the same level of drive to achieving your goals and dreams in an easier, fun way. Now, I don't know about you, but I loved finding out what some of these habits are. So welcome to Brand Builders TV. It's Loubna, also known as the Action Accelerator. And I mentor entrepreneurs to gain clarity, focus and momentum with lightning speed. Because let's be honest, you do not want to be wasting time. Time is too precious, too wasted. So I've spent the last 20 years, I know I'm revealing my age, but it's true, 20 years discovering strategies, tools, ways of working to make work fun, light and easy. Because let's be honest, who wants to work hard? Really, you? I don't. I hope you don't either, because if you do, you're on the wrong session for this week. And I'm driven, and I still am driven by the question, how can we make it more effective? So listen very carefully. I did not say efficiency. Efficiency is just, can we push in a little bit less to get more out of it? I said effective. So every second, every minute, every effort that you put into gives you the maximum results. Now, I've been fascinated with that question, and even more, discovering the right answers to that question for the past 20 years. So, you may have heard, and let me know if you're fascinated by that question too, and you understand the distinction between efficiency, which we hear a lot about, and effectiveness. Because that's really important that you do. So I'm all about effectiveness, that whatever I put in, I get the maximum out of it in the best way. Now, I know that if you are an entrepreneur and you've been in business for quite some time, even if you've been a corporate professional before, you're still a corporate professional right now, you have heard of the 80-20 rule. Let me know. It's called the Pareto principle. And ever since I've heard about this principle, I thought, but that's magic. Because the principle says 80% of your results, 80% is generated by 20% of your time and effort. Now, I don't know about you, but when I heard that for the very first time, I thought, wait a minute. I only have to put in 20% of my time, energy and effort to get 80%. That means that whatever I was doing 20 years ago meant that there's a lot of waste in there. So I thought, if that is true, that formula is true, that 20% of our time, energy and effort gains us 80% of the results, then I want to know what that 20% is. I hope you do too. And I literally went into, and one of my signature sayings, if you've been with me a couple of weeks ago when I delivered my session on strengths, then you know that I'm all about playing more to your strengths so you can balance your weaknesses and make life more fun. And my top number one signature strength is a love of learning. You can see how that plays out. If you look at the background, this is just one of my 2 bookcases. I love learning. So when I heard about that, I went mad scientist on it. I thought, if I can discover what that 20% is for every goal, every project, every task that I do, I only have to spend 20%. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this session is because, one, I believe way too many people are working too hard, working out of alignment with who they are, which only leads, let's be honest, to problems for your physical, emotional, and mental well-being. And there are just too many people for whom work is a sick maker. And I don't want that to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. I know that it doesn't have to be that way. So I am passionate about teaching people how to make it work fun, light, easy, so that you do not make yourself sick, and even more so, you actually enjoy what you do on a day-to-day basis. So that's one of the reasons I'm doing this session. Reason number 2 that I'm doing this session about smart working habits is that I've been asked by so many people, and I am not exaggerating, how do you, Loubna, get so much done but still have time for yourself, your family, your friends, and time for anyone that reaches out to you and says, help? You can help them within a couple of hours, maybe in a couple of minutes most of the time. Like, how do you do that? How do you get so much done, remember lightning speed, and still have time left? If I were to do what you do, I would be spending 12 hours working, maybe even 16 hours. Well, I don't, as I do not believe that you need to be spending a lot of time. I'm all about harmony in your life instead of pushing harder. Let's make this fun and easy, shall we? So those are the 2 reasons that I'm doing this session, because there are habits of highly productive people, I'm one of them, that you can adopt, that you can choose to adopt in your business and your life so that you get more done, spending less time, energy and effort. Now, how does that sound to you? Let me know, because that makes it more exciting for me to deliver this session. If you're here live, let me know. Give me your name and what inspired you, or even made you curious to hop on this session. If you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments. I'd love to see where the reach goes about this session, because the more people learn about these things, the better the world will be. I truly believe that. So before I go into the habits, there is a couple of things that I really want to make sure that we are on the same page and are looking from the same perspective. So you know where I'm coming from and what I want you to understand after this. So one is more a little bit about habits, because there you can have a lot of information about what a habit is exactly. Now, if you've ever attempted to change something about your behavior, whether it's losing weight, being more present with the people that you care about, or in any interaction with another human being, or it might be that you just intended to watch less TV. You know, and you've experienced it yourself, and let me know, I know that you have, that it is difficult and uncomfortable to try to do that, to make that change happen. Think about New Year's resolutions. I mean, we're coming up to the end of the year, and I know by the time we're in December, more people will make New Year's resolutions. But we also know that by the time we hit the 3rd week of January, most people, and if you Google it, you'll find out it can be anywhere between 80 to 90%. Very little people stick to their New Year's resolution, but they abandon it by week 3. So it takes time, effort, attention. It is not nice. It's not fun when you commit to changing anything about your behavior. The good news, the sunny side of things, a habit taps into our automatic responses. So you don't have to think about something, it just happens automatically. So that means that you spend less effort, less time trying to do or force yourself to do something. So there is value in creating and changing your habits. Now, if you're interested in learning more about habit formation, let me know, because I can schedule a session where I will do a deep dive on habits and habit formation and how you can set yourself up for success in creating the new habit. So that's important to know. So when I'm talking about the habits of highly productive people, I'm talking that it's effortless, it seems effortless and automatic, so they are supported in doing whatever they do on a day-to-day basis. So now, as if you've been on with me on earlier sessions, you know I value awareness, because we can't make any changes if we don't know where we are today. So grab pen and paper, make some notes. It's very important to have that connection between your brain and your hand and a pen and paper. If you prefer digital, go digital. By all means, make sure that you work in a way that is in alignment with you. So grab a piece of paper and think about it. Take about 30 seconds to a minute. I know it's very difficult in a busy day-to-day life, but take this time. You've made the commitment and decision to join me on this session, whether it's live or on the replay. So take stock of where you are today. Take that downtime now and think about it. How good are you at working smarter? How good are you? Now, and if you want to take this to the next level, you might want to consider to score yourself from 1 to 10 on how good are you at working smarter. And just to give you a little bit of insight in what that might look like, are you able at the end of the day to tick off all of your items on your to-do list? Are you able to do that? How do you feel about your to-do list? When you look at your to-do list, do you feel excited and ready to tackle that list of tasks on that day? Or do you look at it and the very first thought that pops up in your mind is, how am I ever going to be able to get this done? So whatever it is for you right now, rate yourself and reflect on how good are you at working smarter. And if you want to share it in the comments, that would be great. I'd love to see where you are at. So take stock of where you are. Now, the next piece of the awareness section is, how happy are you? How happy are you with how good you are at working smarter? Now, it might be that you're watching this and thinking, oh, I'm really good at this. I mean, I get my things done. I can tick off my tasks on my to-do list. I know what I need to do, and I'm getting the results that I want. I'm achieving my goals in the way that feels fun and light for me. But it also might be, which is the majority of the people that I have as my clients, is I don't get to finish my to-do list. Even more so, at the end of the day, the to-do list became bigger. There are more tasks on that to-do list than I started with at the beginning of the day. I dread looking at my to-do list. I procrastinate and distract myself on doing everything on that list. Whatever it is for you, just reflect. Just reflect. Be compassionate. You are where you are. You got yourself to where you are today. So this time is to really become aware of where you are today, where you want to go, so that when I share the habits, it's easy for you to make the decision, which one do you want to master? Which one is going to make your life better, make your business better, make the change that you want to make first. Okay, because one of the things that is also important to realize is that you cannot make multiple habit changes at the same time. So you're gonna have to choose one to focus on in the next however much time you're going to give yourself to master the habit. So that's really important, and the only way that you can make that decision is if you know where you are today, and not if you do not know where you are today. If you're not reflective of where you are today, you might make the wrong decision and work against yourself. And like I said at the beginning of our time together, I want you to work in alignment with yourself. I want you to adopt the habit, the very first habit that's going to make the most benefit to you, that's going to be the most beneficial for you. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you're still with me, where you are at, where you want to go, and how good you are at working smart. Okay, another piece, the last piece of the awareness before we dive into the 5 habits that I'm going to share with you today is, how does that look like for you? Because if there's one thing that I've learned in the past 20 years, working smarter looks different for different people. Again, each and every one of us is unique and has a different personality, different motivational drives. So it might look completely different than it looks for me. So take a minute to think about working smarter. How would that look like for you? And I'm going to give you a couple of questions, prompts to get your thinking started. So one of the questions that you could use to get your brain activated on answering the question, how would working smarter look like for you, is what would you be doing differently if you adopted one of those habits and you're working smarter? What would you be doing differently from today? How would that impact your behavior? Would you get up early? Would you do work in different times? What would you be doing differently that you're not doing today? How would you think? How would you feel? The more senses you bring into this vision, the better it will be. Because if you're clear about how it looks like for you, again, you'll make it easier for you to make a decision on which one of these habits you are going to commit to adopting next, but also it taps into your motivation. You will know why you want to adopt this habit, because like I said at the beginning of our time together, it's messy. When you start trying to adopt a new behavior, it's messy because our brain perceives anything that it doesn't know as a threat. So adopting a new habit is literally working against your own brain. So it takes effort, it takes time, it takes struggle. So it's messy in the middle, but it's sunny and great at the end. And I really want you to know why you're going to make that decision, why you want to make this change in your business and in your life. So, are you ready for some habits? Let me know. So this is an interactive session and we can play together. So as I said, there are many habits of highly productive people. If you Google, you'll find lists of them. But because of our time together, and I do not want you to get overwhelmed, because if you're overwhelmed, you're not going to make the changes. I'm going to share with you 5 habits. So 5 habits of highly productive people, the 5 that I've adopted in my life, and you can too. Now, as I go through them, make some notes. Make some notes on how does it sound, this habit for you? Have you already mastered this habit? Or could you improve on mastering this habit? Maybe you've never thought about this habit as being impactful for your productivity and performance. So just make a couple of notes, because after I've shared the 5 habits with you, I'm going to ask you to choose which one is going to be your commitment to working smarter instead of hard. So ready for habit number 1, and This habit, if you've been with me in the earlier sessions, you will know that I have shared this one before. So habit number 1 of highly productive people is they have clearly defined goals. And if you don't set goals, you're just going to be busy. And you're going to be busy for the sake of it, without making any meaningful progress. It's one of those things that when you look at your to-do list and you see a task but you can't connect it to a goal, you'll procrastinate on it because you're thinking, but why do I need to do this now? And that means that it doesn't get done. So set your goals. Decide on what you want to achieve in the next 90 days, in the next 6 months, in the next 12 months. Because the more clear you are about your goals, the better it will be. Write them down and get them visible in front of your eyes so you can look at them on a day-to-day basis. You will prime your brain into supporting you to achieving those goals. Again, if you want to know more about goal setting, I've done a session last week on Thursday where I shared a little bit more about goal setting. If you want to know more, let me know. I can do a deep dive session on goal setting too. So they have clearly defined goals. So as you're watching this, whether you're with me live or on the replay, reflect. Do you have clearly defined goals? Not only for your business, but also for other aspects of your life, your health, your relationship, your financial wealth, your physical health. Do you have clearly defined goals? Because that is the antidote against busyness, at least one of them. So habit number 1, and let me know, how well are you? Do you have them or don't you? And are they clearly defined? So do you know exactly what the goal is and how you know you will have achieved it? Habit number 2. And this may come as a surprise to you, maybe not. If you think about how I started our session together, is highly productive entrepreneurs get up, have high energy, enthusiasm, are driven and excited about what they are going to do. And that is because they have the habit of they love what they do. They are passionate about what they do. And because you can adopt and implement all of the productivity tools and tricks that are out there in the world, and there are many. It may be that you've adopted the Getting Things Done system by David Allen. You may use Pomodoro technique to schedule your tasks and time, but they will not work if you do not enjoy what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. If your business doesn't excite you in any way, shape or form, you want to be excited about what you do. That's where the energy and enthusiasm comes from. So you want to love what you do. And if you're not excited about the business you are in today, then it's time to reevaluate your situation. Okay? So successful, productive entrepreneurs have a passion, are passionate about what they do, and they have a purpose that gets them up in the morning each and every day. And there are different ways that you can discover what you're passionate about, what your purpose can be, and how you can incorporate this into a business. So, how much do you love what you do today? Are you excited about the business that you have, about the things that you can do, about the lives you can impact? Because if you're not, time to reevaluate. Habit number 3. So we spoke about setting clearly defined goals. Love what you do. Habit number 3 is, and I know I'm going to disappoint a lot of people with this one, is single tasking. How many of you, or whether you're watching this live or on the replay, are multitasking because you believe that you will get more done if you do multitasking? Well, think again. Multitasking is the worst you can do for your productivity, because when you switch, your brain switches with you. And every time you do that, you lose momentum. And research has shown that multitasking actually slows you down. And another research that I learned, which was absolutely blew my mind, is every time you multitask or switch to another task and you want to go back to the task you were actually working on, it will take you 20 minutes to remember what you were doing, get back into the flow of the task, and finish the task. 20 minutes. Now think about how many distractions or how many times you multitask on a day. 20 minutes each time. Every time your phone does ping, you look at your phone. You come back, it takes on average 20 minutes to get back into the task. Now, if you do that a couple of times, you're going to build up hours. And one of the things that I've heard from other people that have researched productivity and performance is that on average, on an 8-hour workday, let's assume you work 8 hours. If you plan 8 hours, you're probably going to be only productive for about 3 to 5 hours. And most of the time, it will be more of the 3 hours than of the 5 hours. It's one of the explanations on why at the end of the day, you feel you've been busy, but not made any progress towards achieving your goals. So please, single task and choose one task, get away from all of the distractions, finish the task, and then jump to another one. Okay. One of the ways you can do this is to time box. So set a dedicated set of time, focus on that task. When the timer goes off, you step to the next one. But don't multitask. I know it is something that we're naturally inclined to do because we truly believe that we can get more done, but you won't. Okay? I know you don't like me saying this, but really it is very, very important. And in my experience, when my client changes one thing and starts single focus, single task, they see their results grow exponentially. Okay, so it is really important. So let's go back. Habit number 4. And again, if you've ever seen or heard an entrepreneur stand up on stage and say, I'm on a mission to impact millions of lives, and you're sitting in that chair thinking, oh my God, that is so many lives. How is this person ever going to be doing this? As it seems daunting, let's be honest. Millions of lives, there are a lot of people. But one of the things that highly productive people know is that they can have big dreams, big goals, but they need to take baby steps. What they are really good at is breaking it down into smaller steps. Smaller steps they can do that seem achievable, because if you look at that 1 million, you're going to think that I'm never going to achieve this in my lifetime. But when you look at it, this is the next thing that I need to do and I can achieve this, then 1,000 baby steps will get you a lot of progress and moving forward towards that 1 million or however many people you want to positively impact. There's a second reason why this is important, small steps, and that has to do with motivation and drive and the enthusiasm to keep going. And that is, with smaller steps, you can create small wins, and that will impact dopamine levels in your body. Because every time you achieve something, even if it's really small, it doesn't have to be a big thing, even if it's really small, your brain releases dopamine, and it's also called the feel-good hormone. Every time that's released, you're going to feel really good about yourself, proud about yourself, and you're going to be motivated to take more action instead of procrastinating because you can't see how you will ever create that win for yourself. So smaller steps are really important because you want to make them achievable. So you want to have the sense of I can do this. And the second is dopamine goes into your body like a great drug. That's the best way I can describe it for now. So again, if you've ever had a big goal or a big dream, break it down into smaller steps. Even if it seems like you need to take 100,000 small steps to achieve your goal, it's still important because you want to keep going. You want to stick to any change that you want to make. You want to stick to achieving your goals because that is one of the reasons we are in business. We are here to impact lives. Okay, habit number 5. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. Our habit number 5. And this one was one of my biggest challenges. I'm going to be very honest and transparent, because I've always thought I'm better doing it myself. I don't need help. It just takes a lot of hassle. I don't want to bother anyone. I want to do it on my own. And as entrepreneurs, that's even enhanced, because we think we're really good at doing things our way. And even if we delegate, they can't do it the same way that we could. So we keep everything bottled up, and we wear all of those different hats. And if I've learned anything in the last 20 years, is we can't be good at everything. We can't do everything without asking for advice and support. So habit number 5 of highly productive entrepreneurs is they ask for advice and help. They realize that they can't do it alone. They need other people, because you want to complement strengths. You can't have all of the strengths in you. It really is not possible. So you want to know your strengths, you want to know what you're good at, and you want to find team members and help and support of complementary strengths. And a couple of weeks ago, I did a session on strengths, and I shared with you how you can discover your strengths. It's also a way that you can discover the strengths of other people, so you can have complementary strengths in a team and achieve your goals and dreams in a easier and more fun way. So those were the 5 habits. We started with set clearly defined goals. Number 1, make sure that you love what you do, so have passion and purpose in whatever you do. Single task, do not multitask, was number 3. Number 4 is take smaller steps to make sure that it's achievable and you become your own dopamine dealer. Number 5 is advice and support. Make sure you surround yourself with people that can support you in any way, shape or form that you need. So we've come at the end of our session together. I know that I've taken a little bit more time than the 30 minutes of this, but I really wanted to finish all of the 5 habits. Like I said at the beginning of our time together, there are many more habits, but I don't want to overwhelm you, and I want you to make a decision on which one you're going to master next. So take back the notes that you made at the beginning of the session, where you reflected on how good are you at working smart. And it might be that you're already very good at it, or you might think, I'm not that good at it right now. Whatever it is, please be compassionate about yourself, because if you're not, you're just gonna struggle even more, and I don't want you to do that. So take back on your notes, look at them. So look at the notes that you made with each and every habit. And now I would love to ask you, which one of these are you going to adopt? Make that commitment to yourself that you're going to focus on this habit so that you can achieve more and work smarter and not work too hard. Now, if you feel comfortable doing so, please let me know so we can support you. Remember habit number 5 in mastering this habit and getting it done. Thank you for your time this week. This was Brand Builders TV session on smart working habits. I am going to be here next week, next Thursday at 12 p.m. UK time, whatever time that is for you. Make sure that you tune in. If you have any requests and topics that you would like me to discuss and do a deep dive on, please let me know. I would love to be able to do that for you. Have an amazing day and have fun. Bye.